What it do, T Squad? It's me, Keish, and I'm here with a new All Tea All Shade video. I sat down yesterday and I watched Erica Mena's interview with Carlos King, the part one, I believe. And it was just a few things that I wanted to touch on from her interview. Don't know if I'll be reviewing part two or not unless something really salacious comes out of that. But we find out, and I don't know if she's ever spoken about this before because I've never, ever heard about this part of Erica's life in an interview, magazine interviews, anything. But she talks about how she was born in jail. Her mom actually birthed her in prison. And she says that her mom, ran numbers and stuff. And from the ages of 2 to 6, she was in foster care and that she was the M word while there. Okay. And she says she attributes her anger from that happening to her and not being able to come home because her family would visit her while she was in foster care until her mom could get her out of there. But she would receive visits from, her mom and her sisters or whatever, because she has older sisters. And she would always get angry when she could not go home with them afterwards. So she says that's where all of her anger comes from, being the M word and then being left at foster care. And I just found that really fascinating that you've been on television for literally 90 years and we have never heard really this story. If she has told this story, it must have been a long time ago, and it might have been like maybe in one episode when she was on Love and Hip Hop New York. Because I remember when she was on New York, she actually filmed with her mother maybe once or twice back then. And I don't remember this story. Is it just me? Or had she ever talked about this? Because I don't remember this. Because this would have actually made us understand her more. So I'm like, are you telling us this now for woe is me? To lessen the blow of your, what you said to Spice, which was racist? Like, where is all this coming from? Like, she made it a point to say how she was around the white girl and she grew up listening to Mary and having all of these different friends from different ethnicities and all of this stuff. And she struggled and they were poor. And it was just like, I've never heard these stories from her ever. So I need for y'all to let me know, am I late to the party or is this something that she just pulled out her butt for this interview? Because this was very shocking to me. Then she goes on to say that when she joined Love and Hip Hop New York, she literally went in for the meeting and they had her filming the same day. The next day she filmed, she still hadn't even signed a contract yet. And that's when she got into it with Kimbella and they had that altercation. Where they both were looking like they had vertigo. It was about to fall out. So she says that Yandy was the one that started that beef between them because when they were out shopping earlier that day, Yandy was the one that told her that Kimbella had been talking about her. So that's why she came into the scene hot. Plus, she was trying to make her mark. She was a fan of Evelyn Lozada, being a Spanish woman on television. And, she was trying to make her mark and really be the next that. And J-Lo and all of those different things. And then she says that when she did sign her contract, which was right after the fight, mind you, in one of the vans, they handed her a contract. She didn't have a lawyer look over it or anything. So she signed a very bogus, whack contract where she only was paid for per diems and expenses. So expenses would be when she flew in to film. So they put her up in a hotel or whatever. And pay for airfare and car rides. And then the per diem is basically where they give you a little cash flow to have some money in your pocket. So she didn't get paid much of nothing. Well, she didn't get paid nothing, pretty much. And she said she was stuck in that contract for a minute until she was able to renegotiate for herself. And that's why I be trying to remind y'all that these celebrities, these reality stars go into like their first 2 seasons, sometimes even the first 3, they not making no money for real. Like, you would think that they living high off the hog, but they ain't making nothing for real. And that's why it be cracking me up that these people will go on these shows fighting and ruining their reputation for scraps. And you've become infamous for violence and being ratchet and ghetto and aggressive and all of these different things. And you ain't even making no real money for real. So it's just like, what? She says that she feels used by the network because remember that season they had that lady, that white girl on there saying that she used to be Erica's pimp, pretty much. She was her madam. And she was like, that was totally false. That never happened. And she was like, I really felt used by, the network and Mona and all of them. And then when we get to the DJ Envy part of the interview, she says that Gia, DJ Envy's wife, was the one who called her. And she said that, she did not know that he was married, that they were still in a relationship. He just kept on referring to her as like his children's mother and this, that, and the third. And then when it comes to the Safari situation, she says that she doesn't think he ever really loved her. And she makes a comment about how his career boosted after she got with him. And I'm like, Erica, I know how her living situation was during that time period, because for any of my T-Squad members that read my books, I have a series that's based on these 2 characters called Cam and Gray. And the Cam character, physical inspiration of how he looked was based off of Erica's then boyfriend named Cliff. He was a rapper, ex-ball player, all those things. Rest in peace. He got, unalived some years ago. But when she did the little scared show on VH1 with Safari, where he was, saying he was gonna marry her, this is that and the third, she was dating Cliff at the time. That's why she wasn't giving him no energy or nothing like that. And I followed everything that Cliff did for research for my character. So I was so in tune to his Instagram, looking at every post, every Instagram story, every live that he did. And he had photos on his page of being at Erica's house where she was living. Erica was living with a roommate in a townhome, y'all, with carpet. I'll never forget it. With carpet on the floor, literally. And when they broke up and she got with Safari, I remember they were beefing online because she would not give him back like the rims and stuff that he had at her house still. Like he had rims to his car and everything like that. Because what broke them up was they had like a physical altercation. And he ended up getting locked up. And I don't know if she got arrested or not, but that was the last straw with their relationship. And she finally eventually ended up giving him back the rims to his car. But it was like, Erica, Safari was the one that put you on when y'all got together. You were literally not even trying to be funny. She was going through a little bit of a dusty phase during that time because she wasn't on Love and Hip Hop anymore. Because remember, she had left Love and Hip Hop New York to get married to Bow Wow, and that ended up tanking. And so she wasn't on reality television for a minute, and the money had dried up. And I remember like Erica was wearing like biking shorts and tank tops, and like she wasn't the Erica that we see now, always glammed up hair and all that stuff. No, because the money wasn't there. And when her and Safari got together, and he popped out with her that first night when they went to the basketball game in them furs, and he iced her out with all that jewelry, that's when her life got elevated. So it's just like, why are you trying to spin this narrative like him being with you was a boost to his career? He already had paper based off him being on Love and Hip Hop, based off any endorsement deals that he had on, based off the law settlement that him and Nikki had or whatever. He had money. He put you on. You didn't have ice and all that stuff until you got with him and started working with Trax, where he gets all of his jewelry from. He the one that got y'all the house. I remember when he bought her that washer and dryer, and she freaked out because she loves to clean, and she was just so excitedly and happy and all of those things. I remember when he surprised her for, it was either Valentine's Day or her birthday, with a house full of like roses and all of these things. And I think she was pregnant with Maji at that time. And he got Kim Kardashian to surprise her with a video message for her birthday, and she flipped off. Like, Safari spoiled that girl, spoiled her. When they had their YouTube channel, which I'm pretty sure the channel is still probably up, I can't remember the name of it, but they had a whole YouTube channel where it was either her birthday or something like that, he iced her out, honey. Took her and her friends out and all this stuff. They went on vacations together. Like, he changed her whole quality of life. So don't sit up here and try to play that man like he didn't upgrade you. Like, please stop, please. And then she goes on to say that she feels like she put too much responsibility on him in their marriage, for basically saying for him to grow up and to be a man. Now, that part I was like, girl, you sound crazy. Like, he signed up to be a husband and a father. That's what he needed to be. But I don't know, like, everything about the interview, to me, I wanted to feel a connection to her, but everything kind of felt performative and not genuine. And it just seems like she was going for the sympathy vote, and I don't know, it just didn't seem genuine to me. It really honestly didn't. And if she was being genuine, God bless her, but it just wasn't coming across that way to me. It really wasn't. Y'all let me know what y'all thought about the interview down below in the comment section. Let's talk about it, you guys. Make sure to thumbs up this video, like and subscribe, and hit that notification bell button. I love you, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.